All right, we are live from Phoenix, Arizona, BullShooter Regional Tour 38 at BullShooter's pub, tavern, saloon, not real sure. I'm DJ Sayer, joined by Gordon Dixon in commentary this morning.
Hey,
How we doing, Dad?
oh, it's going. I'm anxious to get into the matches here, see what we got, following along with the level 1 doubles teams today.
Yeah, we had a pretty tough field of players in the level 1 singles cricket last night. I'm curious to see what the pairings are, stuff like that. Getting to see some players that we actually didn't get to see yesterday. Already kicks out Kayla, one of them on the feed today.
And you probably talked about it last night, but a little bit different, just overall setting for this stop.
Yeah, the leveled play for the West Coast regionals certainly creates a different wrinkle. Probably honestly makes the field smaller, but more competitive.
Yeah, it kind of concentrates, especially at the top, the players that come in with the big averages.
So here we do have Breck and Kicks taking on the bald guys. Give me 1 second here. I can actually pull up the people rather than the team name. So bald guys is Chris Watson and Rick Sherbing, and Breck and Kicks is Rick Breckenfelder and Kicks Kayla. So this Chris here, he actually made a pretty good run last night. I want to say finishing like fourth in the singles. And that was after losing like first match on our stream.
Doing it the hard way.
Yeah.
Who came out on top? I was not able to follow along last night.
So we had a pretty interesting final. Ruben Herrera won the king seat, and Adam Savada come through the losers bracket, and it was 2 out of 3 all the way through. Adam reeled off the first 3 legs in the final, so won the first set and won the first leg, and then Ruben won the last 2 to hold on.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it felt like we were getting a double dip, and honestly, Adam was just cruising, and then all of a sudden, Ruben figured it out.
Was it a classic case of maybe the king seat didn't do what he should have during the
Honestly,
downtime?
I don't think so. I think it was more so Adam was doing all the right things. Don't get me wrong, Ruben didn't play the first couple legs the way that he had to that point, but Adam was crushing it, especially in the third place match. He really crushed it, and then carried that into the final. But yeah, Ruben had to throw in game 4, won it going first barely, and then won the cork. And I think Adam had one bad shot early on, and then Ruben kind of carried it through from there.
Very nice. Always enjoyable to watch it come down to the wire like that, especially for a final.
So looking through some of our teams, Ruben Herrera, last night's champion, playing with Robbie Dixon. I told all the folks at home last night my favorite dart player named Dixon. David Flowers and Brandon Perez playing together. We got Mike Scarborough and James Hopkins. Scotty Burnett and I'm not gonna know how to say that. Kjell Nystrom. I apologize. JC Martinez and Adam Savada playing together. Tough team there. Although JC was wearing a like darkened lens on his left eye. Apparently had like a retina detachment. Did you know about this?
I did not.
He was still playing solid yesterday, even with that. But so
which eye?
The left eye. He's right eye dominant, but that still has to mess with the
depth perception. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, good on him for even being as competitive as he was yesterday. Um, but so that's definitely a rock solid team. Looking down through here, Dave Fadum and Chuck Pulio also pairing it up. So one name I'm not seeing, which is shocking to me, because and you'll probably be shocked that he made the trip yesterday, is Nick Lindberg.
What?
He was in the singles last night. Didn't fare so hot. I think he lost about midway through. Um, but yeah, I was shocked that he's not in this doubles today. I really thought that he made the trip to try to qualify for ESPN. Maybe he did, and tomorrow's doubles 01 is what qualifies. So he's just skipping today's events. I'm not sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I saw him warming up.
Glad to see him making the trek insofar as trying to qualify.
I feel like his wife wanted to go to Sedona, and he was like, "All right, whatever.
I
I'll go
was just
play
gonna
the dart
say,
tournament."
I'm sure there's a story behind why he's chosen this one. Yeah, definitely one of the warmer regionals,
Especially in December.
Kicks and them needing to win this one here to send us to a decider. Actually, I guess we should have talked about that. The format today: 2 out of 3, both sides.
No, 3 out of 5 on the winner's side.
Okay.
So last night it was 2 out of 3 on both sides, but today with the bracket, it looks like we've got a perfect 16 team bracket. So last night we had almost 32, so that gave us a little less flexibility today with only 16. Increase it to 3 out of 5 on the winner's side. Plus, they got started kind of late last night with some bracket issues, so probably best that it wasn't 3 out of 5. Whereas today we got lots of time.
Plenty of time.
Chris and Rick cruising here. A 6.33 and a 5.0 together. Won the first leg.
Lots of pressure here. Needs to find a treble.
Kicks a player. I haven't really seen Kicks in a while, but I know at one point Kicks was traveling quite a bit and was one of the top averages in the country. I know. I want to say like qualified for some Team USA stuff a couple different times.
I can tell you, he was one of the qualifiers for the Phoenix World Cup team at, we're talking 2011, 2012, 2013, somewhere in there. And we were able to pull off the W. Mark Fair and Melissa Wargo at the time, I believe was her name, were the rest of that team. So fond memories of playing with Kicks. But you're right, just not traveling as much. I don't know how much time he's dedicating to the game. I see him in the Facebook comments every once in a while. Big shot needed.
Yeah, Chris Watson just carrying the form he had yesterday into today, but there's Kicks showing his pedigree, putting in a 180. And if you do want to follow along on our bracket, please feel free to jump into the BullShooter Live app. You go to the tournaments. I can speak. Tournaments tab, and you will find it's called O2 ACR. So Arizona Cricket, and then it's doubles cricket level 1. So that is the bracket we will be following today for our commentary. But we'll give you periodic updates of how it's going and tasty matchups. It is interesting seeing a BullShooter played in a bar. Like last night, we'd actually get a little more of a view of the background, and you can tell it's just a really big bar. There's lots of pool tables and stuff. I've never actually been, but I've heard great things about this place. Have you ever been to Arizona to play?
I don't think I have.
Yeah, I know I haven't.
They have a steel tip tournament.
I think they have a couple of them, but yeah, I don't think any of them are ever big enough to justify the travel.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's definitely on my bucket list. I would certainly like to. It's one of the few states I haven't been to. And then, like I said, I've heard so much about this BullShooters. I know, like they've had like videos go viral from their place.
Well, and I think we got word just before we started that there's also a giant pool tournament going on there
Yeah, I want to say they had
as
like
well.
70 teams, something like that, for
Whew.
pool. Yeah, so it's gonna be a packed house today.
Well,
Oh,
look at this.
bit low. Now it has to hit it. A little bit of pressure added now. He does get it done. So 2-0 advantage for Chris and Rick.
Not a big start, especially when the guy behind coming off a 6.5 mark average. Only going to find 5. See if Kicks plays a little conservative here, and it looks like he's going to. He does end up taking a shot down, but job done with a couple of treble 20s. Oh, and a blank. Not what the team was looking for there. So Chris Watson with the point lead. Probably going to make this hurt. Looking to take the match 3-0.
Yeah, Chris just feeling it. Putting in another 7 mark. Gotta say, unfamiliar with Chris, as far as I can remember. But like I said yesterday, stumbled at the first hurdle and then really picked it up, cruising along the loser side, and then again today, right back into the triples. Oh, Uncle Rick with a little bit of a lackadaisical third dart there. Knew it as soon as he threw it. Didn't take his time. Make sure that he got the single. So an opening now for Breck.
Bit of a let off from Chris. It's all relative. Kicks finds the 6 mark behind to take the lead. So, any predictions? Who do you like?
It's tough. Am I basing it on current performance of what I saw yesterday, or am I going off of known commodities? Because I think the two biggest names playing together in Chuck Pulio and Dave Fathom has to be at least in the discussion. But I got to admit, I mean, Adam and Ruben were really good yesterday. So you got Adam playing with JC, which good, and then you got Ruben playing with Rob Dixon, good. So yeah, it's tough to call. Honestly, yesterday was a good day of darts. I felt like a lot of players played really well. So I could see quite a few teams coming through. But if I had to put an amount of money that mattered to me on one team, it would probably be the chalk team of Julio and Fat.
Julio and Fathom for the DJ Greenbacks.
Yeah, if I had to. I don't think I'd bet it. I think this is one I'd steer clear of because I'm not confident in any pick. But if you forced me, that would be my pick. You?
Honestly, I completely agree. I mean, obviously, I'm. It's good to hear that Ruben playing well, and I think Rob probably complements that team fairly well. I don't think I have any nuance on anybody outside of that. That said, watching Mr. Watson play here, they're going to be in a lot of legs if he continues to throw like that. Um, if Uncle Rick can stay straight.
Completely agree. So it doesn't look like we have a match ready yet. All four um, of our concluded matches don't line up. So we will try to get you another match. First one available, we will be coming to. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
All right, we're back. We've got the two chalk players here in Chuck Pulio and David Fathom taking on Zach Zimmerman. And DJ, you're going to have to help me with the other.
Yeah,
Justin
Justin
Bogle.
Boble. I'd
Just
flipped off of it as well.
popped up on the screen.
Oh,
Even
you
for
were
me.
looking at the board.
Yep.
That's smart. Yeah, I went back to the league leader bracket.
Context clues. But yeah, we're in Arizona this weekend. 38th annual regional tour following the doubles cricket level 1 group. We've talked about it before. There's a little bit different setup. Everything is flighted in the ones out west. So Washington will be close to this kind of format as well, if not the exact same. As we see the guy that works at Foot Locker, Miss.
So I'm unfamiliar with Zach as far as I know, but I'll be honest, he looks like a younger version of Dan Zimmerman. You remember Dan, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
A younger, kind of taller version of Dan Zimmerman, and I'm pretty sure that Dan Zimmerman always had dart frogs on the back of his shirt, didn't he?
He did.
And I think this guy has dart frogs on the back of his shirt. So I think we might be seeing the son of Dan, which would be crazy because I had no clue.
Gosh, Dan Zimmerman. I haven't thought about that name in a very long time.
Yeah, I hadn't either. I always liked Dan. When I first started playing, he was one of the first partners that I ever got to team up with. That was top tier player in the country. Because as you know, the listeners don't. I would just randomly third wheel it with you and Aaron, and then try to find a partner at the tournament. And I got lucky enough to play with Dan pretty early on.
Yeah, no. If somebody in the chat knows the relation, because you're absolutely right. There's got to be some type of relation. And Dan was always a stand up dude. Always one that I enjoyed speaking to in between events.
Absolutely.
And not everyone is like that.
You kind of pick and choose.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's that way in every kind of niche thing you'll do. There seems to be pods of people that just get along with each other better, like-minded individuals. And for me, Dan was always one of those guys. Not the best averages on the board right now. Pretty sloppy opening leg, if we're honest.
Yeah, especially with these guys already having one under their belt. Would have expected to see a little bit of more scoring power, but job done, leg one.
So just updating you on the bracket if you haven't popped over to look at it. So this is the second round in the winner's side. Looks like La Maquinas, which is Adam Savada and JC, are waiting on the winner of Inball and D Reese and Lefty and Shoe, which are in the decider. Dog Pound and Chippendales are squaring off on board 34 in the second round, and then Bald Guys, Chris and Rick that we saw earlier, are waiting on B Flowers or a little R&R. I was just getting ready to say this match isn't doing anything for the confidence of my pick before the tournament started.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't put any amount of money that means something to you on this team. Actually, talking about Zimmerman and the people enjoy talking with, Chucky Pipes is definitely in that group as well.
Oh yeah, I limited interaction with Chuck, even with the amount of tournaments we've been at together. But yeah, I always seem to like and respect what he had to say. This seems very grounded.
No, certainly approaches these events very very businesslike, but not to the point where it's like annoying, if that
Yes,
makes sense.
completely.
Mounting a little bit of a comeback here. Justin gonna need to find some points, find some closes.
Talked about it, and looks like just about everybody's starting to heat up a little bit. Starting to get fours and fives instead of twos and threes.
Putting the pressure on the 2-3 of Zach Zimmerman here. Does drop one in. Find the treble. Ooh. Don't really like the shot. So Chuck now for a 2-0 lead in this one. And boy, is he going to convert. Doesn't even take a swing at the bullseye. Leaves his partner 3-1. Or I guess just 3. Sorry. I was looking at the wrong side of the board.
Well, Dave played with fire a little bit there. Had he not hit it, 3-dart finish would have been on, but does get it done with a double bull third dart.
David opening up aggressive here. 2-0 lead. It's the spot to do it. Chuck's certainly known for his steel tip play, but has had some success at some pretty big elite soft tip tournaments as well.
Looks like all 4 of our second round matches on the winner's side are underway.
The switch from Chuck pays off.
Take a look. No, stays there, tries to fill it up, but 112 scored. Zach gonna need to answer on the 17s.
A lot of movement in Zach's throw. Needs to have all those pieces aligned. In fact, I'm only going to find a single bull. Leaving Chuck with some work here. There's the shot. This match is 2-0 to Chuck and David. Sloppy play. Throwing it doubles. Really leaving Justin and Zach in this. Chuck gonna bail him out again.
Big shot there from Zach. Shutting the 16 down. It is down 22 points, but I don't hate the strategy. You kind of need a miss anyways, and Dave going to oblige.
Yeah, if averages were telling, there was no shot there for Dave.
Oh, but Justin goes for the bull. So Chuck will just need 3 marks here, 2 bulls and 115. There's the 15 out of the way. Now needs a double. Well, one last chance for Zach to stay in this match. Needs a hat trick.
Hit one at the tail end of the last leg. A little bit more pressure on this one. Oh, and he does find it. You see the clap.
Big third dart there.
Good last. And only one mark off of the winning hat trick there.
Dave just continuing to play a questionable cricket strategy. Like it's risk when there's no need for risk. Zach not gonna punish though, only 3 marks. So Chuck once again to clean up the mess.
Yeah, I feel like the darts he's throwing is like he just doesn't know that he's only averaging 3.5 marks a turn consistently.
Yeah, so the closing new numbers is definitely a strategy that I endorse in situations. Um, I just it's probably not something I would employ when I'm struggling. And I gotta believe that right now Dave has to be aware that he's struggling.
Is Dave aware of that?
I gotta believe it. He knows numbers. In fact, I'll admit, I mean, Dave was one of the people that I've heard and I've always agreed with say that we should be a little like when we talk about practice or results, we should be more focused on averages than we should results based because results based can be a little deceiving. You know, you can win with a 70 average and lose with a 90, and it's more subjective to how your opponent plays. And granted, the goal is to win, but so I think he's pretty aware of numbers, but I think he's probably a little too comfortable in this match.
And yeah, up 2-0. I mean, I agreed in the start of that third leg. They closed with 40, and he had closed the 19, closed the 20, and then went back to the 19. It's not shots like that. It's this continual um, pressing ahead, missing into the next door numbers, throwing at doubles, missing outside.
Well, I truly think he's changing what Chuck's throwing at as well. Because Chuck, like I'm a believer in if we've got a mark on a number, and the other team doesn't have a close, well, I'll trip it and score and get a close and score, all of that. So like Dave slashing a bunch of new numbers is then forcing Chuck to follow, which is not progressing the game the way that Chuck probably wants it to. Again, it's all not going to be relevant in this match. It's looking, but it it's a little puzzling, and I'm curious to see if it keeps up in the next round if they're playing against Adam and JC as the bracket is shaping up.
That one, Justin puts him up 100. So the race is on. Chuck and David have to score 100 points before.
And now Chuck will probably do it in 2 darts.
13. Yep. There we go. Closes it out. 3-1 win there for Chuck and David. They will move on in this level 1. We're watching the 38th annual Arizona Regional for the BullShooter Tour. I believe we got an interview or two that we're going to throw up here shortly. We will get our next match all queued up and be back with some darts very shortly. Don't go anywhere.
We are back. We've got our first semifinal of the winner's side. And this is a tasty one. Dave Fadum, Chuck Pulio taking on JC Martinez and Adam Savada. They've already corked. Looks like Dave won it. A little bit of a tip fix there for Dave's dart. And he will lead us out. We are in Phoenix, Arizona at BullShooters.
Shot clock.
Dave only going to kick off with 2 marks. Has to be said, Dave and Chuck did not look good in the last match. And based on the way that Adam played yesterday, yeah, and he's right back in it today. I feel like if the previous match is any indication, I feel like Adam and JC are the favorites here.
Yeah, strategy and Fadum's play are going to be the question mark.
I feel like he'll probably take this one a little more serious. Did feel like he was kind of too relaxed in the last one. The one-eyed bandit, JC Martinez, putting in a 9 mark.
Yeah, these high-level cricket matches can go so fast and get away from you so quickly.
Yeah, we've talked about on the soft tip side. It's typically about who misses first, not who hits. I mean, you're expecting at minimum 5 marks a turn from top tier players, and usually it's 7 and 9s being traded. As we see a 9 mark there from Chuck, averaging an 8.0. JC, ooh, almost 6 perfect. Better from Dave as he finds 3 triples.
Nice 4 bull from Adam. But now just 3 bulls away. Does have the outlet to find a single that'll push the bull. But not needed. Polishes it up. First leg to Chucky and Dave. Adam to get us started.
This is 3 out of 5. Well, not a must-win leg here for Adam and JC, but going down 2-0, usually a death sentence.
Chuck leaving the door open here.
Back to the 20.
For the 20, yep. Standard leg. Frustration there from JC, not able to find anything on the first two. Chuck can tee off on the 17s. Bring him back in it. So David calling him off of that shot.
Yeah, to send him at the 20.
And he converts.
Good on Chuck to be able to be interrupted and then still find the triples with the next two darts, or a double and a triple. But now in opening, this is what Dave was hoping for. Probably best case scenario, you get a clean shot at opening a new number. Only 5. So
100% wrong shot. Should have went to the 15, right?
Yeah, I would have rather taken away the X, but not gonna matter as JC closes both.
Down 66. May see a treble 15 here. A hat trick. Saveda.
Oh, just misses left with the last. So the Hucklebuck for the leg. Needs 3 bulls and a triple 15. Great start. And he gets it done. Great shot there from Dave to steal leg number 2.
Perfectly executed. Started with the close of the 20s. Set up basically one shot to win and closed it out.
Yeah, and we've talked about it. 20, really the only number I endorse taking a shot like that when you're down by that margin, just because I feel like every player just about has a tendency to feel comfortable on that 20, and they're going to continue to switch over to it when they get a look. As we see JC here, first start, triple 20, doesn't get to close on 19, back at the 20. And JC and Adam with a pretty big uphill battle here, having to win 3 straight. And this leg probably not going to be the hardest one. It'll be that next one where they know that Dave and Chuck will have the start.
See if that final shot, Hucklebuck, does anything to their strategy. Well, the strategy of just hitting triples, that's a pretty good switch.
Yeah, when executed, flawless. So Adam again needing a hat trick to close out a leg. This time, going to find a double bull with his first start, shut it out in 2. But as we said, this 4th leg, probably the most important one for Adam and JC, as they will have to break the throw.
They've not been consistent on his opens. Case in point.
Chuck should look up. Doesn't take a single dart at that 20. JC probably not going to leave it. But only finds 5. Adam may look to start on the 18s here. Try to take away that 19. I think he went at the 17.
And it did.
And now Chuck with the bigger number. Should be all day. Well, looks to open a new one. Great shot there from JC. That's the exact right strategy to combat what Chuck and Dave are trying to do. I will score on my number and then take away the bigger number. And here it is. You're forcing Dave down to the 17s. Then he tries to take away the 15s. And Dave's going to have a window. Nothing happening. So no pressure here for Adam. Has options. Great shot. So rather than them just staying on the 19s, talking about Dave and Chuck, where they had the bigger number, they open these new numbers and have essentially forced themselves down to the 15s now. Oh, but JC leaving the window open, only a 2 mark. So Dave can make up for all of it right here with a 7. Needs 4 15s for the lead. I'd say he's probably getting rid of that 18 at some point regardless. I'm honestly shocked the second dart didn't go at the 18, but a great 9 mark there from Dave. Makes up for all of the other shots.
Yeah, from 0 to hero.
Adam going to force Chuck to hit the hat trick? No. Stays on the bull trying to get the lead. This is to go to the king seat match. Needs 2 more. Now the third. Chuck gets it done. So, Tony and Jimmy, otherwise known as Dave and Chuck, will be in the king seat match. They await the winner of Dog Pound and B Flowers. That is the next match on our stream. So, don't go anywhere. We will have that very shortly.
Hey everyone, it's Nick the Cherry here with David Phantom at the Arizona BullShooter here at BullShooters. David, first off, how are you doing? How's your weekend going for you so far?
Well, you know, last night we had some singles going on. There were some good darts playing. I wasn't one of the ones with the good darts, but played a little bit too much steel tip. But yeah, I'm coming back to darts, and the BullShooter Regional Tour is definitely part of my agenda.
Now, I'm going to ask you the normal boilerplate question here. Steel tip to soft tip transition. Do you struggle with it? Do you find it easy? How do you feel about it?
Well, I used to struggle with it. Like if I was playing really good in soft tip and I would go back to steel tip, I would only be good. Or vice versa, right? Because I use the same dart. Now I use 2 different weighted darts, and I don't normally have a problem transitioning. Yesterday I did because I got a little bit too excited practicing steel tip all day for 5 hours, and then came in, it wasn't so good. But I think players that have the same dart will struggle a little bit more, but if you use 2 different weights, it's no problem switching.
Fair enough. And then one of the things we see on a lot of your posts online and social media is hashtag be more and a lot of that mentality. How do you describe like putting that positivity into the dart game and keeping your mentality positive and what could be a troublesome weekend sometimes?
Well, really it's do more, be more, right? Hashtag do more to be, hashtag be more, do more, be more. The thing is like, it doesn't matter what you're doing in life, right? Like if you just did a little bit more today than you did yesterday, that's how you get to be more. Like there's too many times that we get stuck in our lives and we go, oh, my dart game is this. You know what? If you get up 10 minutes earlier and throw 10 darts for 10 minutes, you did more than you did yesterday, and you will be more tomorrow. You can put $10 on your credit card today, and you will be better than you were yesterday. That's the whole point of that thing. I've gone through a lot of stuff in my life, and I'm transitioning back to becoming a professional dart player again, playing full time. And you have to make adjustments along the way to be successful in those things. And we all can be successful, and we could all be failures. Failures when you quit. If you don't quit, you don't fail.
And then today, we have cricket doubles that we're going to be watching. Who are you playing with? What's your expectations?
I'm playing with Chuck Puleo. My expectations is that we win. It's always my expectation when I play darts. It was so funny because I'm so glad we're doing this right now. The guy came up to me last night and he says, you know what? I lost, right? I lost the singles. I was a little upset when I lost. And he goes, I don't know why you're mad. And he goes, yeah, you used to be a world champion. You won the BullShooter, but you're nobody in today's game. And I was like, wow. You obviously don't know who you're talking to, because I am coming back in the biggest way. I'm so happy the BullShooter's doing what they're doing with their stuff, the regional tours. I'm playing a couple of them actually. I've already booked tickets to Seattle. I'm coming to the main event in Chicago to do that because I want to be a part of that ESPN thing. And that was my answer. So let's see who's on ESPN at the end of the year.
Yeah, it is the most exciting event that we have, right? I mean, everyone's looking forward to it, saying who's going to get the invitation, who's going to take it.
Well, they're not.
All right, here we go. Our other semifinal of the winners bracket to determine who's going to join Chuck and Dave in the King Seat match. We've got Team Dog Pound of Marco Silvis and Christian Beard taking on B Flowers, David Flowers, and Brandon Perez. Looks like Marco won the cork, and he will lead us out.
See if they got the firepower, either one of these teams, to take on David and Chuck, who, again, I think plenty of openings for anybody playing consistently.
Yeah, I mean, for B Flowers, they've had a little bit of a tough road to get here. Started with the singles champ from yesterday, and Ruben Herrera and his partner Rob Dixon. They won that one 3-1, and then they had to play the Bald Guys, who we saw in our first match win 3-0. They beat the Bald Guys 3-1. So, gotta feel like B Flowers is playing pretty steady, but early on in this leg, it is all Dog Pound. Marco with another 7 mark. Only counts as 6, but we know what it was.
We know.
And Christian played on our stream in the singles yesterday. Played very well as well. He actually beat Chris Watson, who made the long run to get back to, I want to say, 4th place. So yeah, was certainly playing well yesterday. Solid 7 there from Brandon. Marco should just shut this 16 down first. 4-number advantage, only down 15 points. The only real way to lose this leg is to let them extend it and continue chipping away at that lead. See, you only go 57. Dave comes up and scores more than 57. They continue to chip away at that. He may even take the 19 away at some point. But Dave only going to hit 2 16s.
Yeah, again, just letting them live where they don't need to. There, wisely, Christian takes it away. Marginal lead on the points going into the bullseyes.
So Marco just needs 3 bulls to take leg number 1. And he only needs 2 darts to get it done.
Great leg top to bottom there.
Looks like Dave and Brandon going to change the order in the board here. Which, gotta say, I agree. I think given current form, Brandon, the more informed player between he and David, I'm wondering if the first leg they didn't want to set that up and it just didn't get done. So Brandon making sure that it got done this time. Brandon going to show why he's leading out. 180, closing and scoring 120 points. Well, Marco only with 2.
Christian needs something big here. Five mark. David only averaging 3 here. I'm going to take all 3 to close the 17s. 50-point lead coming down the stretch.
Marco trying to get something going on the 15s, and only 3 singles. So Dave Flowers could potentially win this leg, tied up at 1 apiece right here.
And there it is. 1 apiece. Dog pound to lead us out in the 3rd leg here.
Christian lands a triple with his last start, increasing their score lead.
Watch football or go play darts. The eternal question on Championship Saturday.
Yeah, Donnie's probably a Georgia fan?
If I had to guess,
because he's a Tennessee boy, right?
no, I think he's Alabama or Georgia. I don't think he's Tennessee.
Oh, no, roll tide. There it is.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then that makes the answer pretty easy. I think you got to watch football. Huntsville. Okay. I knew it was down there somewhere. My apologies there, Donnie. But all the Chattanooga, Huntsville, all that, and even the Georgia boys, they kind of all blend for me. I think you have a little better grasp of where everyone's from just because you lived down in Nashville for a bit. But
yeah, I know who came to the local events and who drove in and and all that stuff.
I mean, we'd get down there quite a bit, but like I said, it kind of all runs together. Apparently, there's a taco food truck that is calling its name at the venue. Love a good dart bar taco food truck.
Oh yeah, I've definitely been tempted by those at various hours of the day.
Brandon finding a pile of 18, scoring 108. Yeah, as the chat pointing out, Brandon kind of single-handedly putting the team on his back here. David Flowers just not at the races. Only averaging a 1.33. Got to feel they didn't get to this point because David was struggling. Definitely seen Dave play well. But here just doesn't have it. Looking like they're going to go down 2-1.
Well, all with throw, right?
True. Yep.
So that's kind of how this format is set up. Not kind of. That is how this format is set up.
Yeah, but getting that break of throw right there wouldn't have really mattered too much because then Marco Christian would have had to start in the next leg as well. It's when you go that 2 legs clear that it really makes a difference.
So 3 bulls, sew it up. Only finds 1. Not a big spot.
Marco just needs 2. Gonna make sure the wrist is in alignment. Well, I thought he hit the double.
And stay straight.
Well, he
And
gets the
there it
bounce
is.
out. I don't think he thought it registered at first. He had to look down at the screen. I wouldn't want to give Brandon a shot at that. That's for sure.
Here's the hold of throw. And then hopefully Brandon and David will be looking for a cork to decide who's getting the start on that 5th leg.
Yeah, you just hope that Brandon's confidence in his partner doesn't start wavering.
Surprised to see him leave that 20 straight away for that exact reason. Hopefully he's not feeling he needs to shorten the game by that much so early in the leg.
I think this is the right shot here for Dave. Well, up to the 3rd. I think when you are struggling a little bit, the easiest thing to do is to pick a target, stay on it with all 3. He did find a triple with his 2nd dart. But here comes Christian. Big 9 mark. Taking the lead and shutting the 20 down.
Yeah, what a spot.
Brandon trying to answer. And he does. A 1.5 of 18s.
Great shot. Not really enough.
No, not at all. Only a 1 mark. So Dave should definitely shut down the 19s. Back to score. Given the way Brandon's playing, I think Dave should play that kind of complimentary role of just going back to score. Oh, but Christian not able to punish this time. Only 3 marks.
So the hot hand. Look at him go, folks. Look at him go, folks.
Back to back.
Great shot.
It's looking like we're going to play all 5.
I'd let Brandon cork.
If you were Marco and Christian? Because I don't think it's a debate between Dave and Brandon. There it is. Dave finishing it up, so we will get a cork.
This, again, if you're just joining us, the semifinal of the Level 1 Winterside Bracket, 38th Annual Arizona Regional. The regionals out here on the West Coast just set up a little bit different. Everything level play. How many levels did we have?
I think 4.
4?
Yep, that's what it was in singles last night, and that's what it's set up for today in doubles. So Marco does win the cork once again and will lead us out in leg number 5. Oh, but a huge opening as he only finds 2.
Wow. You got to be ready for openings like that. Sometimes they come at unexpected times. I think this may have been one of them. Brandon able to stand in there, though. Finds the treble. What D flowers are we going to get in this leg? Whew. A guy that catches it on the third.
But job done. That was just enough. Marco pressing a bit. Another
Yeah.
2 mark.
Yeah, maybe the situation getting to Marco here. Winner of this plays David Fathom and Chuck Pulio. The pre-tournament favorites. I've struggled on tournament twice now.
I think I did as well. Oh, Christian back in the triples.
Oh. Had a chance. Turned the whole leg on its head. Still puts the pressure on David. David not able to convert. So after all the woes Marco's had so far, how bad can he make this hurt?
Mildly.
Yeah. That's almost best case scenario. Because you still have your number to score on. And it was within 3 darts.
Yeah, and Brandon only finding 4 a turn in this leg. About half of what he was doing in the last one.
Christian gets the close, but not able to do much more work on that 17.
But here comes Marco. Finding a couple of triples.
Just high.
I feel like Brandon's due for a big one.
Yeah, law of averages said that was probably going to be 5, 7, or 9. How about Mr. Flowers?
Great response. Scoring 96. Giving his team a 28-point lead.
Yeah, big time timing there from David. Certainly not out of the woods yet here on this leg, but Gives Marco something to think about. And Marco's thinking about 9. He's going to have to settle for 7. Does very well to find the treble 16 there. That thing was blocked.
But unable to take the point lead. Does Christian go back in the 17s? He does. Oh, great first start there from Marco. Going to take roughly an 80-point lead into the bull, plus find a double bull. So nothing Brandon can do here. Even 6 bulls will not be the lead. Christian will come back, needing 1 bull to book he and Marco's place in the king seat match. Following this one, we will have the Darts of Hazards taking on the Chippendales at a loser side match, and then we'll circle back for that king seat. And there it is. So Christian Beard getting it done. For B Flowers, they will have to move into the loser side and try to battle their way back. So again, we will step away for just a second in anticipation of that next match. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hello, everybody. I am Nick Teixeira, joined by JC Martinez here at the Arizona BullShooter here in BullShooters. How's your weekend been going for you so far, JC?
Well, it's been going great. Yesterday I had a little ups and downs, but I mean, with this level of talent of players, it's unbelievable how people are getting good all the time. So you got to stay on your toes just to catch up with them.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at this BullShooter, I think this is one of the toughest fields. The commentators are talking about it on Friday Night Singles. There are so many big shots here that it is incredible. I mean, do you think Arizona is probably one of the strongest dart states?
I think it is. Arizona's got a very talented players. We got Dave Fadon, we got Chuck Pulio, we got Adam Cevada, which you saw him last night. He's a beast. We have Mike Carter, Watson, a lot of people that participate in the CSC. So it's great talent. We have lots of talent.
Now today we have doubles that's going to be going on. Who are you playing with, and what's your expectations for today?
Yes, I'm playing with my boy Adam Cevada. He's a beast, and we hope to pull out a win tonight.
Perfect, and we're looking forward to seeing that. Now, a lot of people are going to be watching this live stream. They're going to see you lighting up the board and hitting a bunch of 9 marks. If they get inspired and want to start playing darts tomorrow, what would you say to them to get started in darts?
Hey, no matter what, just keep discipline. Just keep on doing your game and just try to learn from the best players. Play against them, because that's gonna make you better all the time. I remember when I started playing darts, I used to come here to this bar and I will look at Mike Bates, I will look at Rick Breckenfield, I look all this great Lucky Newberry, I will look at them and I say someday I'm gonna get there, and I will play with them. They'll get money out of me, and guess what? After I got good, nobody wanted to bet money against me, so it was great. Just stay disciplined. Discipline is one of the most important parts when you start playing darts, and discipline will get you everywhere.
That's awesome to hear. Now, one more thing for you here. With everybody in the dart room, who do you think's the best shot in the room besides yourself today?
For me, it'll be Adam Cevada. Yeah, I will take Chuck Pulio. Ruben Herrera is a great shot. And those will be my top 3.
Well, you heard it here, guys. We're excited to continue bringing coverage of the Arizona BullShooter Regional Tournament. Nick Teixeira, JC Martinez.
All right, we're back. We got a loser side match. We are 2 out of 3. We're watching the level 1 doubles cricket event. And we've got a doozy on the loser side, seeing who's going to stay in this. The Darts of Hazards taking on the Chippendales. I know Mike Scarborough. I know this is Jason.
You know James Hopkins. And you know
Kevin Dulac.
Kevin Dulac.
First thing I see in the chat is the youngins.
The Young Bucks.
If you pay attention, that is exactly how I root. I usually root for Ohio, and then I root for Young, and then any combination. And if I'm chalking, I root for whoever wins the first leg.
It sounds right. Like, who's arguing with that? Like, list.
And by the way, the chalking one, that trumps all other favorites.
Yeah, you gotta be pretty special to me for me to be chalking, have you lose the first leg, and then me still to be rooting for you.
Yeah, I want you to come back. After you lose that first one, that ship has sailed in my mind.
Now, I mean, if you do manage to tie it up at 1 apiece, like I will shift back.
You're back in my heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
But you won that second leg with me rooting against you.
Well, so far the youngsters are off to a good run here. Is the Colorado boys? Is that the youngins, Damien? I'm assuming.
It would have to be, right? Because Mike is Arizona and James is what, Washington?
That sounds right.
The winner of this one gets to play La Maquinas, Adam and JC. And following this match, we will have our king seat match, so don't go anywhere. James looking at the board in disgust with his 2.5 average. This is only 2 out of 3 on the loser side, so something to keep in mind.
Big shot there from James to bring himself back in line here. Kevin Dulac looks good once he gets to his throwing position. It's all the movement to get there that I'm not a big fan of. Mike Scarborough, by the way, not afraid to make his shirt come true. I've seen winning darts and then the shirt come off and twirled over the head.
And sometimes you got to celebrate. How do you celebrate?
Not as well.
Apparently.
I can't remember. Who was the guy that would lift up his shirt and smack his stomach?
What?
Did you ever? I want to say it was
in the PDC.
No. It was. It may have just been a Southern Ohio guy. but he'd hit a good shot and lift up his shirt and smack his stomach.
I do not remember this at all.
So we see Mike polish off the first leg here. So 1-0. So the youngster's going to have to do it 2 straight. This is the easy one. Then they got to win a cork. Oh, wide open here. And leg number 2. Kevin can make this hurt. Big bad.
James firing in a couple triples. 7 mark on the 18s. Pick up his partner.
Ryan, that's actually one of my favorite dart pictures ever. Is Bobby George standing standing with not Keith Deller. Oh my gosh, Eric Bristow, and he's got his little nipple flap down. And I think he posted it on Twitter or Instagram and said, "How many tits do you see in this picture?" Absolutely incredible. Possibilities, but they're going to need some help at this point. And that's probably not going to be the pressure needed to influence this leg.
Kevin getting rid of that 15, putting a bull on there. Looking like we might be tied up at 1 apiece. Oh, but James going to have something to say about it. Forcing Jason to have to score. Great first dart. Oh, only needed 2 bulls with 2 darts in hand. Yeah, I mean, second dart probably would have finished it.
Said Mike turns the screws a little bit here. Gonna need 2 straight darts now from Kevin. And there it is. This one's 1 apiece. So we'll see a all-important cork. Oh, he takes the shot. I think that's a good time for it.
Good look there from Kevin. So both teams trading 4 and 5 marks. Mike gonna get rid of that 19. Only a single 20. So an opening here for Jason. If he can find 418, so I'll have the point lead. Could shut down that 20 as well. Oh, but I like them to go for the 17.
James gets the 6 mark. Gonna need to come back on the 18s. Surprised James chose the smaller number. See what Mike can do. Only 2 marks.
Yeah, and a must-win leg. Kind of playing with fire there, down in score. Oh, and Jason had no clue where he was throwing that third dart until he let it go. But it finds the triple 18.
Oh, you nailed that. That was a 17, 18, 18.
Great shot there from James.
James rescues the leg so far.
Mike gonna step in here with big 7 mark. Scoring 119 on the 17s.
Mike gets it shut down. So teeing off on the 15s for Jason. Oh, it's not going to happen. Partner Kevin shrugs it off. James puts him one away from sending the Colorado boys home.
And there it is. So Mike does get it done. Booking he and partner James's place against La Maquinas. The Colorado boys, they are sent packing. We will have that king seat match coming up. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more darts.
You're joined by Adam Savada here at the Arizona Regional here at BullShooters. Adam, you had a great run last night, falling just shy at second place in the level 1 singles. Can you talk to us about your run yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, first match I was feeling pretty good, a couple of 6, averages, and then second match against Brandon Perez, it was a little slow, and then went into the losers. Been a long time since I was in the losers bracket, but I had to fight back, and I was doing pretty good, then made it to the finals and almost had the double dip, soft tip. I'm a still tip guy, but soft tip, you miss one dart and, that's kind of it. And that happened to me on the 16s. I had 3 single 16s, and that was pretty much it for me. So,
well, statistically, I mean, you put on a clinic. You had the highest averages. I believe you had a 7.36 on the stream, amongst other great high-performing games. Your upper gear was amazing, but a lot of people were in the comments saying, "Man, if they didn't know Arizona darts, they were like, who's this guy? What's going on?" So, can you talk to us a little bit about why you do or do not travel?
That's true. You got this one?
Yeah, I can get it. All right, we are back. We've got our king seat match from
Woo-woo.
Phoenix, Arizona. We got Chuck Pulio and Dave Fathom taking on Christian Beard and Marco Silvas. Looks like we're getting the board all set up right now. So looking at the run to this point, Chuck and Dave beat La Maquinas in the semifinal. Ping to my Pong in the second round, and the Wolverines in the first round. Good to see somebody could beat the Wolverines this year.
Hey.
And Dog Pound started with EV first, then beat the Chippendales, who are still running, and then beat B Flowers, who are also still running. In fact, B Flowers awaiting the winner of Chippendales and La Maquinas.
So after the last one, has your faith been restored in Chuck and Dave?
You know, they played pretty well. I got to admit. I still don't really like Dave's shot selection. I didn't really anticipate coming into the event that I would be like that would be what's deterring me. But I think Chuck played pretty well and consistent so far. So yeah, I mean I would probably still favor them, but mostly because of Chuck.
Dave has certainly been timely.
Yes, I mean, but that's Dave. Like we've talked about it so many times. Like I I think Dave would admit that he's not the best scorer, stuff like that, but you give him an opportunity, he usually hits it. Like he's America's version of a James Wade, if you will, where he's not going to blow very many top players off the board, but if you give him a shot and an out, you might as well kiss it goodbye.
I wonder if he would embrace that. I don't see how he wouldn't.
No, I don't either. Honestly, it's a good quality to have. Like I can remember matches against Dave where I out averaged him by 15 points in still tip in the CDC, and he beat me because he's nicking outs against the throw, taking a 157 with me sitting on 32, stuff like that. I mean, it's tough to overcome. Chuck only going to find 3, but a huge advantage in this one.
Yeah, curious.
You're never going to win bulls against 20s or big triples on the 15-inch board. It's super tough. Maybe if they were battling on the 15s or 16s, but and Dave again, not really gonna like they've got a 5-number advantage. So if he gets the bulls out of there, you feel like Chuck's gonna come up and clean it up. But when you miss that first one, you'd think you would pull the cord and try to find a triple to take the lead. Just don't like this strategy from Marcos and Christian. I mean, even taking the third dart at the 20 doesn't do a whole lot for you. You still need 4 numbers.
Yeah, you have to get it to where it's an actual finishing shot.
Yep. Yeah, close 2 of the numbers, and you know that Christian comes up and he's at least got a Hail Mary shot of 3 triples. We are back to 3 out of 5 format. So that is leg number 1 to Dave and Chuck. Great shot there by Christian.
I don't know that we've talked about this, but even Dave starting is kind of a questionable call at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Chuck's clearly the more informed player. I'm not surprised. I mean, Chuck to defer to Dave seems like a normal thing. So I don't think Chuck's as comfortable in soft tip, so he's gonna defer to Dave and trust Dave's strategy, as we've seen, where Dave has literally stopped Chuck mid throw. Marcos to finish it out, as he does. So tied up at 1 leg apiece.
Great shot.
And actually, Dave gonna hit the button. I wonder if he's not making the switch. He is. So we talked about it. He's gonna defer. I think that's the right move, as Chuck is playing better right now. And I think there's something to be learned for people watching too. I think a lot of times we get set in our ways, and to this point they haven't lost a match, so it's a winning formula. Why would you change it? But this match is just as important as all the rest of them. If you know that Chuck's playing better, you should definitely go with the hot hand.
Well, I think Chuck's also one that's not going to deviate as much.
Yep.
Yeah, 7 mark follow. Puts the pressure on Dave. Now, do you play that 19, or do you go to the 18 and get the 2 biggest numbers?
Right there, I mean, to start the turn when he was down in score?
Yeah.
I load up the 19. I never would have left it. You want to battle, like, Dave made the conscious decision to go to the 17s instead of the 18s. So you want to give up 6 points per triple? I'll take advantage of the 57. Now, when I go to close, once I've gotten enough score to where I'm going to be closing a number, I then go to the 18. I want to keep you down at that lower number. Yeah, I'm not really a believer in the like here picking the lower number to score on. I understand comfort level. A lot of players like the 17s more than the 18s, but I think far too many people choose to open the 17s instead of the 18s. See, I mean, leaving the 18 there, I don't get it. Like, is it probably going to matter? No. Chuck's averaging 6.33. They're clearly playing better in this leg, and they already have a 3-number advantage pretty much. But this is what could happen. You could have easily closed that 18 there and forced Christian and Marcos down. Instead, Marcos walks up, throws a 9 mark. He's now increased his lead to where you can't even get the point lead and take his number. And he's taking away one of yours. So just a solid 6 mark. 2 triples here for Christian. And Chuck's going to need 5 bulls. Whereas he could have just closed the 18s and been a much better spot.
Yeah, where they had led the entire leg.
Yep. Now, again, a little bit of a let off. Christian only closing the 16s. So it's probably not going to matter. But just consistently putting themselves in precarious spots for no reason. Throwing at the bull needing 5 when 7 15s is an easier shot. Again, don't understand it. 7 mark on the 15s or 5 bulls. Why would you go bulls?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Marco cleaning up the leg last time.
And I really think Marco overthought this shot because Chuck went at the bull. Like, the 15 was the more important one. It is easier to throw 4 15s than it is to throw 3 bulls, in my opinion.
Yeah, that came down to a shot that never should have been in that position.
Yep. I mean, as we said, typically the better averages are going to win, so it's kind of irrelevant. But I just don't understand Chuck and Dave continuing to put themselves in spots they don't need to be.
Only 2 from Fathom.
A little bit awkward. Yeah, switched off the 19 because he blocked himself. I don't hate the shot at the 17s. Now Chuck may elect to go at the 17s to try to take away the slash, which in that spot I don't necessarily hate it. I still think you should probably protect the best number on the board.
Good last there from Chuck. Felt like he was trying to place those last 2 darts.
Now that's the right shot there from Dave. Best number on the board. You have the advantage. Just load it up. This time, I think Chuck will go at the 17s. On that off chance you go single, triple, you actually close and score. No, he's looking up. Oh, Christian left with the first 2. There's one opening now for Dave. Could go back at the 19s, fill it up. But nothing. Flatline.
Sticking in there. Pile of 17s.
Yeah, good recovery after the first start. Made it awkward. Had to slide to the left.
Christian looking for a way through. Oh, and he finds it.
I thought he was sliding over to the 19 when he moved left.
Another timely shot back from Fathom. Jockey Pipes burying the double 17 to start.
This is a must-win leg here for Christian and Marcos. Down 2-1.
Straightforward 7 mark here. but it's not going to happen.
Oh, and he chucks it away. Well, he takes away the 19, but yeah, not the best look there from Marcos. Chuck really gonna make him pay. Taking a 105-point lead into the bowl.
$105-point lead.
Just never looked confident. So Chuck for 2 bulls to hold the king seat. So there it is. So Chuck and Dave do hold the king seat for Dog Pound. They'll be waiting on the winner of Chippendales and Beef Flowers. I think that one might already be underway. So if so, we'll try to get a side angle of that so you can watch. But yeah, we'll be back with more darts to come. Don't go anywhere.
Hey everyone, it's Nick DeShare here with David Phantom at the Arizona BullShooter here at BullShooters. David, first off, how are you doing? How's your weekend going for you so far?
Well, last night we had some singles going on. There were some good darts playing. I wasn't one of the ones with the good darts, but